the 263rd academic year. By tradition, the university commencement begins with the procession of the academic division. Ladies and gentlemen, serving as honorary head marshal, Peter Behrman. Please welcome the first division of the academic procession, the alumni history broadcasting.
master's in programs. Yeah, yes, a master's in there's several disciplines. Yeah, and more than I think more than 55% are international students.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome our candidates for the 2017 Medal for Excellence and honorary degrees. Escorted by Columbia University Trustees, the recipients of the Presidential Awards for Excellence in Teaching, and the alumni medalists. At the very end with the president. He's the provost.
before you are the trustees, faculty, alumni, candidates for degrees, and honoured guests of the university assembled for the annual commencement in Columbia's 263rd academic year. With your permission, Mr. President, the exercises will now begin. Please stand for the vocal performance of the national anthem by Dija, School of Professional Studies, class of 2017.
Stripes and bright stars through the perilous night, o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets red glare, the guns bursting in gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free?
The opening words will be pronounced by Janelle Davis, University Chaplain.
Congratulations, Columbia University 2017 graduates. Your Columbia University degree will identify you around the globe as among the best educated women and men in the world. Graduates, challenges and opportunities are expanding for people who are brave, courageous people of good character and goodwill. As Columbia University alumni, you will have opportunities and responsibilities to address the most critical local, national, and global issues of our times. You will give guidance on matters of international affairs, public policy, business, engineering, architecture, the arts, the humanities, the social and the natural sciences. You will give counsel on matters of law, data science, economics, sustainable development, and the joys of daring dreams. Stay brave. Stay brave. Stay brave. Stay brave. May it be so. May it be so.
Ladies and gentlemen, the President of the University, Lee C. Bollinger.
On behalf of the trustees and the faculty of Columbia University, it is my very great pleasure and honor to welcome all of you to this ceremony to celebrate the class of 2017. It is our tradition to gather in this magnificent setting surrounding alma mater to affirm the knowledge acquired by our extraordinary students and to recognize their remarkable achievements. You represent 16 schools, along with our affiliate institutions, Teachers College and Barnard. All of you, are now intellectually and loyally connected to those who have been here before you over the past 263 years, and to those who will follow you for centuries to come. This day is all about the graduates and what you've earned. Earned through endless and mostly foggy hours of study. Earned by overcoming again and again your natural inclination for procrastination. Living by the principle of just in time, which means waiting until the last moment to study for exams and write papers. Earned through sacrifice of something we call sleep. Not to mention nutrition and personal hygiene. And earned by persevering in those inevitable moments of self-doubt. Now, while this occasion is about you, there are a few people here today who have contributed mightily to your getting to this point in life, and whom you'll never be able to thank enough. I can assure you that nothing focuses the mind like the successes and disappointments of one's own children. And as much as we, your faculty, feel deep affection for you, nothing can compare to the pure adoration of your parents and families. Please take this opportunity to thank them. Because a graduation signifies such an important moment of achievement and transition in life, it leaves a deep impression on our minds. We also tend to remember vividly the events that were occurring in the world at the time. It is common to hear people say, I graduated when such and such happened. Sometimes what is recounted is fairly momentous, usually less so. For those of us here today, I doubt that we will ever have trouble remembering what is happening in the world now, or the seriousness of the events coalescing in 2017. Just how significant a turning point in world history this will be remains to be seen. But there appears little reason to doubt that this nation and much of the broader world is at an historic juncture. Some see ominous horizons, while others see reason for hope. We read and hear daily, here and abroad, about the rise of populist movements, all rooted in nationalist impulses, resistant to the continuation of globalization and multilateralism in its many forms: economic, trade, political, the European Union, communications, the internet, movements of people, the refugees. Often this results in the rise and embrace of authoritarian figures. For many, as I said, this represents a foreboding reality. For others, it carries the promise of bringing discipline to growing disorder and awakening stagnant political and social systems desperately in need of fresh ways of thinking. I believe passionately that we need new and better ways to address the myriad challenges facing our country and the world. But for what it's worth, I share the first perspective, viewing these developments with profound concern. Most of the debates taking place right now are about changes to particular policies: healthcare, tax reform, immigration, national security. But as is always true, the most important changes are and will be to the character of our deliberative process, the nature of the public forum, and our capacity for self-government. You don't need to be a free speech expert to know the following fundamental truth. In the end, we as individuals or as a society or international community are what we think, what we speak, and how we interact with one another. The outcomes of our public discourse, while important, follow rather than lead the life we live. So it is right to ask, I think, what is happening to our collective thinking and to the public forum in this new era? My answer is that what is happening is not good, and it's actually very dangerous. There are many things I could focus on here, but one concern I would single out is how the new politics are characterizing and demonizing all things foreign. There are a host of perfectly legitimate differences. There are a host of perfectly legitimate differences of opinion and responses when it comes to how to address major challenges like climate change, international trade, terrorism, the integrity of national elections, or privacy and hate speech in the digital age. The problem, however, is not with the fact that there are many hard questions or a vigorous debate about them, but with the emergence of and stoking of a state of anger and fear surrounding them. Genuine issues always undergird and help to mask the mental condition of fear. But when it arises, it introduces a very threatening element into our debates and our work. I know it is too much to expect of political discourse that it mimic the measured, self-questioning, rational, footnoting standards of the academy. But there is a difference between robust political debate and political debate infected with fear or panic. The latter introduces a state of mind that is visceral and irrational. In the realm of fear, we move beyond the reach of reason and a sense of proportionality. When we fear, we lose the capacity to listen, and we can become insensitive and mean. Our Constitution is well aware of this fact about the human mind and its negative political consequences. In the First Amendment jurisprudence established over the past century, we find many expressions of the problematic state of mind of fear. Among the most famous and potent is that of Justice Brandeis in Whitney versus California in 1927. One of the many cases involving aggravated fears of subversive threats from abroad. Quote, "It is the function of free speech," Brandeis said, "to free men, people from the bondage of irrational fears." Men feared witches, Brandeis continued, and burned women. Today, our witches are terrorists, and Brandeis's metaphorical women include the refugees, mostly children, and displaced persons, immigrants, whose lives have been thrown into suspension and doubt, by policies of exclusion. There are many reasons to oppose these policies, but one in particular strikes at the heart of our intellectual life and is best expressed by the mission of universities, namely, that we should avoid, if at all possible, heedlessly erecting walls, intellectual walls, that will impair our ability to understand and engage our modern interconnected world. For the world today is imbued with profound issues and needs that, however much we might wish otherwise, simply are not going away, that no wall can block, and that deserve as much attention and thought as our collective minds can possibly muster. Columbia University, by our history, our location, and through our active and ongoing efforts, has embraced the responsibility to be an American university with an international scope. At home, not just in this great city, but in the world. We are properly proud of our international students and faculty. And of our research and educational work all over the globe. The free movement of people is vital to that intellectual work. There are still greater dangers that will come with abandoning this path and with accommodating the policies and underlying attitudes here and around the world that would lead us to withdraw from the global marketplace of ideas. It is a distressing fact of human experience that persecution of the, quote, foreign is part and parcel of rising intolerance at home. The same fears of the foreign that take hold of a population inevitably infect our internal interactions and institutions, yielding suppression of unpopular and dissenting voices, victimization of vulnerable groups, attacks on the media, and the rise of demagoguery. With its disdain for facts and reason, expertise, and tolerance. The most infamous and shameful historical periods in which we departed from our core First Amendment principles of liberty and thought and expression always involved a combination of the two strains of intolerance, the foreign and the domestic. This was true at the nation's inception with the revealingly named Alien and Sedition Act of 1798. Continued on into the last century with the notorious Red Scare following the First World War, and persisted in the McCarthy era following the Second World War, both of which, interestingly, involved national paranoia and panic over efforts by the Russians to undermine American democracy. All of this poses a very special obligation on those of us within universities. Not only must we make the case in every venue for the values that form the core of what we do and what we are, but we must also live up to our own principles of free inquiry and fearless engagement with all ideas. This is why recent incidents on a handful of college campuses disrupting and effectively censoring speakers is so alarming. Such acts not only betray a basic principle, but also inflame a rising prejudice against the academic community and feed efforts to delegitimize our work at the very moment when it is most needed. I do not for a second support the view that this generation has an unhealthy aversion to engaging differences of opinion. That is a modern trope of polarization, as is the portrayal of universities as hypocritical about academic freedom and political correctness. But now in this environment especially, universities must be at the forefront of defending the rights of all students and faculty to listen to controversial voices, to engage disagreeable viewpoints, and to make every effort to demonstrate our commitment to the sort of fearless and spirited debate that we are simultaneously asking of the larger society. Anyone with a voice can shout over a speaker, but being able to listen to and then effectively rebut those with whom we disagree, particularly those who themselves peddle intolerance, is one of the greatest skills our education can bestow. And it is something that our democracy desperately needs more of. That is why I say to you now, if speakers who are being denied access to other campuses were to come here, I will personally volunteer to introduce them and listen to them, however much I may disagree with them. But I will also never hesitate to make clear why I disagree. This is a time, above all, for active engagement. That, of course, means you when you leave here, and the rest of us who stay to be with your successors. But I also believe that universities now need to rethink their role in society and consider new ways to apply the extraordinary knowledge and capacities we possess to activities that will improve the human condition and help to solve humanity's problems. Our special role as a university, of course, is to expand knowledge and to educate the next generation. And to do that, we must be careful not to take political sides. But even with that injunction in mind, there is plenty of room for universities to be far more engaged than we have been. Many faculty members already find ways to do this on their own. But no university has adopted as a central mission the project of working closely with partners beyond the academy, in government, the private sector, and civil society, who have the power, influence, and relationships to transform the intellectual work into solutions so urgently needed in the larger world. And as you know, Columbia is now planning to embark on that very mission through the new Columbia World Projects. Whether it be through climate monitoring and seasonal forecasting aimed at mitigating the effects of climate change and public health, food security, and global migration, or by making the coming revolution in healthcare based on precision medicine's use of genetic sequencing, making it available to the largest number of people, there are many areas where Columbia can be more actively involved in helping out with some of the world's greatest needs. I hope in the years to come, you will look back with pride on what Columbia has done in traditional and in new ways to help make your world and our world better. So I conclude where I began, by noting the pervasive sense that society is at an historic juncture. Each of us will have our own views about the proper resolution of issues now dominating the public's attention, and even more significantly, about the populist tides we are witnessing. This much, though, should be clear as you take stock of this auspicious moment in your own life. The way you think and speak and engage those who will be your partners in charting the future will count for everything. For our collective efforts to rehabilitate public discourse, a discourse that is being profoundly threatened by fear and intolerance, ultimately will have a tremendous impact in shaping the world we, and most importantly you, will live in. If you succeed in that project, in rejecting that fear, and engaging with the world in all its complexity, as you have done in your time here at Columbia, then the promising and essential work commencing here at your alma mater will, I am certain, have its intended effect. I wish you the greatest good luck as you take up this considerable challenge and begin the next part of your amazing life. Congratulations.
The Provost of the University, John H. Colesworth, will present the candidates for the University Medal for Excellence and candidates for degrees in honoris causa. Please hold your applause until all citations have been read.
Mr. President, I have the honor to present Julia Basha for the University Medal of Excellence.
Julia Basha, you are a rare individual. A Brazilian-born woman who attended Columbia's School of General Studies. And found her calling as a documentary filmmaker immersed in the conflicts of the Middle East. Your filmmaking tells the stories of individuals who reach across religious and political divides, choosing the path of nonviolence to effect change. These sensitive documentaries on the Israeli-Palestinian conflict expand our understanding of that ongoing struggle. And through them we learn about what the human spirit can achieve in the face of despair and division. For the remarkable films you already have given us, and for those you will create in the future, we proudly present to you with the Medal of Excellence of the University. Congratulations, Julia.
Mr. President, I have the honor to present Jacques Pepin as a recipient of the degree of Doctor of Humane Letters.
Jacques Pepin, in a world where many aspire to such status, you are a genuine culinary icon, a groundbreaking chef who democratized the art of cooking, and in so doing, remade the modern American kitchen. Your gift to our nation's home cooks was nothing less than sharing the skills needed to experience the profound joy of a simple meal, well prepared. A personal chef to 3 heads of state who chose to engage the public rather than remain ensconced in the executive mansion. The secrets of a life well lived are among the most elusive of teachings. For offering us that guidance and more, Columbia is proud to present you with the degree of Doctor of Humane Letters, honoris causa. Congratulations, John.
President, I now have the honor to present Eric H. Holder as a recipient.
Eric H. Holder, Jr. For 6 years as a history-making U.S. Attorney General, you provided a shining example for the nation. Your character and values were revealed by the causes you championed so effectively. The prosecution of hate crimes, reform of the criminal justice system, support for the right of same-sex couples to marry, and the full-throated rejection of new encroachments on the right to vote. We look on with pride and admiration as you, an alumnus of Columbia College and Law School, shouldered this responsibility with remarkable grace and valor. For your courage, your grit, and your determination to protect the liberty and security of all Americans, Columbia is proud to present you with the degree of Doctor of Laws, honoris causa. Congratulations.
Mr. President, I have the honor to present Admiral Michael Mullen for the degree of Doctor of Laws, honoris causa.
Admiral Michael Mullen, as Chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, you served 2 presidents with distinction and valor. You used your authority to seek repeal of Don't Ask, Don't Tell. Recognizing that a policy of institutionalized dishonesty was beneath the dignity of America and its armed forces. The United States military, the nation and the world know you to be a leader of the highest caliber, one who speaks with quiet candor and acts with unimpeachable integrity. At this university, particularly among our thriving community of student veterans and reservists, you will forever be remembered for healing the half-century-old rift between higher education and the military, and for being our partner in returning the Naval ROTC to Columbia. For your service, your sacrifice, and your courage, Columbia is proud to present you with the degree of Doctor of Laws, honoris causa. Congratulations, Michael.
Mr. President, I have the honor to present Padma Desai with the degree of Doctor of Letters, honoris causa.
Mona Desai, legendary economist, global policymaker, and cherished Columbia professor. Your contributions have left indelible marks on the fields of emerging markets and comparative economic systems, while at the same time elevating the well-being of societies around the world. You are a global citizen and scholar, deeply curious about different cultures, theologies, and people. From proposing an economic plan for the post-communist Soviet state to guiding India's journey to a more market-based economy, your work and its impact have been unconstrained by time and place. You also are grateful, we also are grateful that you have shared your wisdom about life's journey in two beautiful and deeply revealing memoirs. For succeeding so extravagantly in all of these noble pursuits, we are proud to award you the degree of Doctor of Letters, honoris causa. Congratulations.
Mr. President, Mr. Provost, and my young friends. I was born in the backwaters of India. I came here 60 years ago. America is a great country. Do not believe if others say anything else. I want you to go out, see the wide world, how people live on $1 a day. Come back, and if you join Wall Street and make your millions, give $1 million to Columbia University.
Not just $1 million.
Not just a million.
Mr. President, I have the honor to present Martin Duberman for the degree of Doctor of Letters, honoris causa.
Martin Duberman, few historians and indeed few contemporary scholars have more powerfully demonstrated the role of the intellectual in forging social progress. Your award-winning political plays exploring the devastating personal impact of repression, and your biography of brilliant outsiders, including Paul Robeson and Lincoln Kirstein, have inspired many, as has your candid nonfiction demanding that gays, lesbians, and other minorities be freed from establishment stereotypes and constraints. For you, action always followed insight. You were the founding director of the Center for Lesbian and Gay Studies at the Graduate Center of the City University of New York, and helped to build the Gay Academic Union. For leading society's march towards equality with unwavering dedication, Columbia presents you with the degree of Doctor of Letters, honoris causa. Congratulations, Martin Duberman.
Mr. President, I have the honor to acknowledge João Gilberto Prado Pereira de Oliveira for the degree of Doctor of Music, honoris causa.
João Gilberto could not be with us today. To whom lovers of music the world over will forever be indebted due to his invention of bossa nova. We We're proud to award him an honorary degree, but unfortunately he is not able to be with us this morning. With revolutionary guitar playing and a groundbreaking singing style, he produced a new sound and a rich collection of songs, as evocative as they were instantly recognizable. Few modern artists can match his creativity with a lasting impact of his music. Fewer still can claim to have introduced the world to something elemental about a nation's soul and its spirit. He is Brazil's global ambassador at musical culture. University students have always been among his most devoted admirers, and they remain so today. For uniting the people around the globe with his beautiful and timeless music, we present João Gilberto with the degree of Doctor of Music honoris causa.
Mr. President, I have the honor to present Alan Erwin Hyman with the degree of Doctor of Science honoris causa.
Dr. Alan I. Hyman, with achievements in anesthesiology and neonatal care are matched in equal measure by your exceptional service to this university. As head of Columbia Presbyterian Medical Center's Neonatal Intensive Care Unit, your innovations saved the lives of multitudes of premature newborns suffering from respiratory distress syndrome. In 10 years' time, the 90% mortality rate was replaced with a 90% survival rate. Our College of Physicians and Surgeons will forever be grateful for your dedication to training aspiring doctors. Columbia College counts you among its most cherished alumni. For all you have done for our students, for your patients, their families, and the medical profession, we are proud to present you with the degree of Doctor of Science, honoris causa. Congratulations.
The President of the University will present the awards for excellence in teaching. The professors will stand as their names are announced. Please hold your applause until all recipients have been recognized.
With deepest admiration, we recognize these professors, selected by the campus community for this honor, for their sustained excellence in teaching and their remarkable dedication to the intellectual development of their students. Lisa Bates, Assistant Professor of Epidemiology. James Kahn, Associate Professor of Sociology. Sarah Dukie, Life Greiser Hyman Bernstein, Associate Clinical Professor of Human Rights. Aaron Matthew Kyle, Senior Lecturer in